I, 24, male, met my wife Lisa, 24, female, through mutual friends. I was just out of college and was meeting a few friends one evening at a cafe. She was sitting at a corner of our table, and our friends introduced us to each other. I know it sounds cliche, but I couldn't take my eyes off her. It was love at first sight for me. She had a smile that lit up the room. She saw me staring at her during our group conversations a couple of times. My face turned red when I saw that she caught me, but she looked happy and kept smiling at me. I took that as a positive sign, and when I got back to the table after getting my drink, I sat facing her. We started talking and hit it off right away. We both shared an ardent love for the outdoors and trekking, so we talked about our past adventures. By the end of the conversation, we exchanged phone numbers and agreed to meet again, just the both of us. We went on our first date a week later. We went to a movie and then had an amazing dinner at a restaurant. I couldn't take my eyes off her throughout the date, and she could easily tell that I was in love. She was funny, smart, kind, and beautiful, so it was impossible not to fall in love with her. I could see that she enjoyed spending time with me, but I was not sure whether she would want to go out on a second date. But she threw all my doubts away by the end of the night when she expressed her desire to meet me again. I was elated and accepted her invitation for the second date. After the second date, we started meeting regularly. We spent hours talking on the phone, both via text and video calls. We visited museums and parks and attended concerts and shows of our favorite artists together. We bonded more during our trekking trips, and those trips absolutely laid the foundation of our love life. In the next few weeks, we openly confessed our love for each other and made our relationship official. We rented a cozy apartment in the city and moved in together after 6 months of dating. I remember decorating the walls with our photos and souvenirs from our trips. We invited our friends over for weekends and had game nights. We both loved cooking, so we cooked together and shared house chores. Looking back, I feel like those were the happiest days of my life. After that honeymoon period of our relationship, things changed. It began when I noticed that Lisa was acting weird. Over a few weeks, she became distant and cold towards me. This was the time when we were planning our wedding, so I assumed that she might be stressed from the wedding preparations. I hoped that things would go back to normal after the wedding. Even before the wedding, I tried to have a conversation with Lisa about the change in her behavior, but she was hesitant to discuss it. So I dropped the conversation and geared up for the wedding. Even after the wedding, Lisa made me feel like my presence annoyed her. She stopped doing some of the most basic things in our relationship, like kissing hello and goodbye. After a while, I noticed that she had stopped saying I love you altogether. She stopped initiating sex and gave very lukewarm responses to my advances. I still believe that healthy communication was at the core of any healthy relationship, so I asked her multiple times what was wrong with her, or whether something about me was bothering her. She continued evading this question until one day she had a breakdown and bluntly accused me of cheating on her. She said she saw me flirting with other women multiple times at work, at the gym, and the grocery store. She asked me for my phone to prove her accusations. I had never been disloyal to Lisa, so I gave her my phone. She checked my phone but couldn't find anything suspicious in it. But she still did not want to believe me and claimed that I had deleted all evidence beforehand. I sensed that she was paranoid and delusional, as none of her claims were true. I tried to reassure her that I loved her and only her. I tried to show her that I was faithful and loyal. In the following weeks, I tried to prove that I was where I was when I said where I was. We went from being happy to being miserable, from lovers to strangers. But when I pressed for divorce, she agreed to take up therapy. For the next few months, all her issues disappeared magically, and I felt like we were back on the right track. During these months, I noticed that Lisa's best friend, Anna, started to hang out more with us. She was Lisa's support system throughout the therapy days. Anna had always been like a sister to her. I had never had any issues with Anna before. I had a rather formal relationship with her, and our conversations were only about Lisa. We had nothing much in common to talk about. Since I was trying not to trigger Lisa's paranoia, I reduced my interactions with women, so I was cautious even while talking to Anna. But my view of Anna changed when, out of nowhere, she started to flirt with me over text. At first, I was taken aback. I wasn't sure what to make of Anna's messages, but I knew that it was not right on her part to talk to me like that. I could sense that Anna was up to something, and I wasn't going to fall for it. But I was curious to see what was in her mind, so I decided to play along. Though initially I warned Anna about how wrong it was to flirt with me when she decided to continue with it, I decided to respond to her messages, flirting back with her. I knew that it was risky, but I wanted to see where this would lead. As I continued to exchange messages with Anna, I could see that she was getting more and more excited. But I kept a clear boundary for my flirtation. I was happy that she was falling right into my trap. I took screenshots of the conversation and made journal entries to keep track of the lies that I had told her. Anna had a reputation for being a gold digger, so I assumed that she was doing this to ask for financial favors from me. Finally, after a few days of back and forth, she suggested that we meet up in person. I agreed, knowing that this was the best opportunity to confront her. We met at a local coffee shop, and from the looks of it, I knew that she was dressed to impress me. She was expecting something to happen between us, but I took a deep breath and confronted Anna about her flirting. I told her that I knew it was a trap, and that I had been playing along to see what she was up to. She was taken aback for a while, but she quickly regained her composure. She told me that she had been feeling neglected and she was just looking for attention from someone. But that seemed like a lie. So I kept asking her about her real plan. I asked her how she could betray my wife's trust in her. When I mentioned my wife, I could see a smirk appear on Anna's face. I picked that up and continued interrogating her. When I accused her of being a gold digger, she gave in and dropped the bomb. I couldn't believe what I was hearing from Anna. My wife, Lisa, had been paying Anna to flirt with me. Lisa had been suspicious that I was cheating on her even after the therapy sessions, so she had asked Anna to flirt with me over text and to take screenshots of our conversations. Anna was hesitant at first, but Lisa offered her a good amount of money to do it, and Anna eventually agreed. But Anna admitted to me that till that day she had not sent any screenshots to Lisa and had told her that I was avoiding her advancements. When I asked Anna why my wife wanted these screenshots, she admitted that Lisa might be looking for a divorce shortly, and she wanted this as proof to present before the court, and most importantly, before our family and friends. I was hurt and angry, as I had not imagined that my wife was this evil. How could Lisa do something like this? I had never given her any reason to doubt me, and I had always been faithful. I couldn't believe that she would go to such lengths to catch me in the act. Anna came to my side of the table and consoled me as she realized that I was having a hard time processing everything. I sat there for a while before regaining myself. Anna asked me not to mention any of this to Lisa, as that would hamper their friendship. By then, I knew what I had to do. As soon as I reached home, I called Lisa's parents and told them what had happened. I asked them to come to pick her up. Lisa called me multiple times, but I did not have the power to confront her. I kicked her out of the house without confronting her, but later I realized that I had no solid proof other than Anna's confession. Am I the a-hole for making my wife leave the house without confronting her about what she did wrong? Update 1. As I thought about it more, I understood that Lisa had been under a lot of stress lately, and she had been struggling with anxiety and paranoia. She had convinced herself that I was cheating on her, and she had been desperate for proof. So I decided to confront Lisa about what had happened. I made a phone call to her and told her that I knew about her plans with Anna and demanded an explanation, but she showed no remorse and even insisted that she had done it for our marriage. I was ready to forgive her if she admitted her mistakes. I asked Anna to help me understand the situation, and during our conversation, she revealed that Lisa was not meeting a therapist at all. She usually left the house and hung out at Anna's place. So Lisa had lied to me for the past few months about going to a therapist. Now I have lost all trust in her. She had called me and begged me to give her one more chance, but after learning this, I don't think I can go on in this marriage. Update 2. When I learned that Lisa still trusted Anna, I asked her a favor. Since Lisa had lied to me about the therapy, I knew that there were other things that she might have lied to me about. Anna had shown me solidarity throughout these last few weeks, so I asked her a favor to find out why Lisa changed just before our marriage. Anna called me today with the truth bomb that I was cheated on by Lisa just before the marriage. Lisa admitted to this in a text with Anna. Lisa was guilty about this and wanted to find some proof of me cheating so that she could have some closure. So divorce is the only way forward, and I have hired an attorney to fasten up the process. ESH, your wife is the a-hole for being suspicious and ruining your marriage, but she appears mentally unwell. Her best friend is the biggest a-hole for taking advantage of her mental illness and making money. Instead of standing by your wife's side and making sure she was getting the help needed, you decide to decode down her best friend, manipulator's plans to flirt with you. That's your mistake. NTA, your wife needs help. She's making up so many lies, all to hide what she did. With her cheating and planning to get you to cheat, I would say divorce is the best way to go. Next story. I, male, 16, am disabled myself. I use forearm crutches due to ME, CFS, and occasionally a wheelchair when it gets bad, and an injury I had as a kid that never healed right. I'm also neurodivergent, autism. This girl I go to school with, female, 17, is the most obnoxious girl I have ever met. She likes to compare our disabilities and say hers are worse without ever actually disclosing what she has. I physically can't walk without support. She can walk just fine. She will interrupt class to talk to the teacher about personal issues. Everyone I've talked to about her has disliked her as well. She is fully capable of using a backpack, but she instead uses this box, a rolling box that gets in everyone's way and is always a mess. Last time I saw it, it had trash from a field trip we went on a month ago. It always gets in the way and gets upset when I need the accessible class seats because I physically cannot walk. She complains about her box all the time. I will also use noise-canceling headphones when sounds are too overwhelming, and she'll come to me and say shit like, "It's not fair you can use them when the school says headphones aren't allowed in class." She's reported me to security for wearing my favorite Ninja Turtle hoodie to school because it has weapons on it. One day I sat in the accessible seat in my chemistry class. It's low to the ground with shorter seats to accommodate wheelchairs and a clamp on the side to hold crutches, canes in place. I sat down, and as soon as this girl came in, she started getting all mad at me. She said, "One day I'm going to get here before you to get that seat. I need the extra space for my box." I've been dealing with her for 5 years at this school, and I finally had it with her shit. I looked at her and started yelling. "Oh my freaking God, dude! You do not need that goddamn box. You are not special. Shut up, please. I hate you. Stop acting like we're friends. We're not. I hate you so much. Leave me alone. You annoy me so much. I need this more than you. I can't walk, dude." I had tears dripping down my face from how angry I was. She started crying and left the room, taking the backpack she kept in that goddamn box. My friend walked me out of the room and took me on a walk around the school to calm down a bit. I feel really bad about what I did, but I don't know if I'm the a-hole or if I went about it the right way. Am I the a-hole? Update. We had a meeting with the IEP staff and we were discussing our disabilities, and after we got done talking about the altercation, We were talking about each of our IEP plans, and she had no physical disabilities or any physical accommodations. All she had was ADHD and accommodations for that, such as being allowed to use a fidget, headphones, and having to take breaks. Her parents said they were disappointed that she would lie about something like that and cause a scene in class, and her schedule's going to be switched around to not interfere with mine. That's pretty much all that happened. She obviously is upset with me. She won't look at my way, which I really do not mind at all. NTA, okay, she has problems, but this is a teacher administrator problem. You shouldn't have to fight everyone who feels entitled to the accessible everything. That's why parking permits and IEPs exist. It's not your job to evaluate how much she needs that box. It should be on her IEP if she needs it. And then the teacher has to make sure she gets it. And your accessible desk should be on your IEP, and your teacher needs to make sure you get it. So, sorry, but it's on my IEP. You'll need to show the teacher your IEP to get the furniture you need, is the best response. But I understand that when you're left to sort this yourself, why you weren't so polite. Well, NTA, but you didn't go about it the right way either. Bottling it up until you blow isn't your best option. You and hopefully your peers need to start calling her out when she pulls her crap. Not yelling or screaming, maybe just telling her that if she can't be respectful, you won't be talking to her anymore. Next story. Hi everyone. When I, 33, male, was younger, I was not the most popular kid in class. I did the musicals and academic subjects. I wasn't much of a sports person and not really very social. Toward the end of high school, I made quite a few friends and it got easier. But one of the popular kids, let's call him Jake, constantly taunted me for my ethnicity, my body, my nerdiness, and what have you. I have never forgotten it and constantly resented him for it. Fast forward 15 years, Jake has done something very stupid and immature, and as a result, he has been in a coma for several years. I left my country when I graduated uni and now live in a major city abroad earning a pretty significant sum. I'm known in my field and everyone I went to school with is aware of this. Quite frankly, the fat musical kid ended up the most successful graduate of his class. For many years, the parents and friends of Jake paid his medical bills to keep him on a ventilator. I never really sympathized, to be honest, and kind of thought he had it coming. Anyway, an old friend messages me the other day telling me that the GoFundMe is finished and that the parents are almost bankrupt, and everyone would appreciate it if maybe I could kick 20 to 30,000 toward his medical bills. I laughed and said, absolutely not. I work for my money, and the last thing I want to do with it is give it to the person who made my last year at school a misery. Now I'm being told I'm a selfish a-hole for not helping because clearly I can afford it. This is despite the person asking knowing that I was mercilessly bullied by Jake. I kind of see it as karma. I've made it in life and don't want to share the spoils with people who try to belittle me. So Reddit, AITA? Edit. For all of you wonderful people suggesting therapy, I appreciate you. But I'm not that kid anymore. I'm a successful professional, married to an amazing woman with a beautiful daughter. I haven't thought about Jake for many years, not since I saw the articles in the newspaper about his calamity. I am certain I needed therapy back then, but I've matured and come into my own since that time. I'm happy, healthy, and satisfied. I love my life. I love my family. But most importantly, I love myself too. I don't dwell on the past. But when somebody calls you for 20 to 30 grand, memories can come back to you very quickly. Second edit. Wow. Thank you to all the amazing people who have helped me feel a little less shitty this evening. I'm trying to reply to everyone, and I'm sorry I have not published exactly why Jake is in a coma, but I am trying to reply to DMs that ask. This community is amazing. I felt really shitty today, and all of you have done so much to make me feel better about it all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Opinion 1. 20 to 30,000 is a significant sum of money to just expect someone to contribute to a stranger's medical fund, even if they can afford it. These people are ballsy for asking you to donate at all, let alone such a weighty amount. And it wouldn't stop with one donation. They'd probably expect you to give a lot every year. NTA, OP, go and live your good life without any guilt whatsoever. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.